Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of Dime Box Discoveries. And boy, do we have some great stuff in here. A real hodgepodge, a veritable cornucopia, if you will. Kind of a potpourri of various different things over the years and of different substances. It's just really a lot of fun stuff. We're not going to waste a lot of time. We're going to get into it, but I do want to promo. My next video is actually already done, oddly enough. I need to put it out. It's a really cool one. It's a little bit different. And by a little bit different, I mean fair amount different. There's a bit of storytelling in there about how I possibly set a baseball card trading record. I don't know if I did because I don't think the record exists of what I did. I don't think anyone's ever really tried to say if they set that record. So anyway, look for that next video. It's cool if you watch. It's cool if you don't. Once again, awesome if you do, awesome if you don't. I don't care. All right, let's jump into the cards and start off. I know you guys love the beaten up vintage. By the way, sorry, all dimes through here, all dimes. Actually, some of them were less than a dime. Some of them were like 6 or 7 cents a piece. And they all got mixed up, so a dime or less. These are 20 cents, and those two I'll explain here in a little bit. So all these are a dime. Starting with some beat up vintage. I'm like, why did you get this beaten up 1972? It looks horrible. Because, once again, it's a high number. Man, any high number for a dime, I'm going to take. I've got, 20, 30, 40 high number cards that are beaten up because people seem to want to get rid of them for a dime. But this, if you're a set builder and you're trying to do the 72 tops, you know how difficult the high numbers are. It's crazy. All right, well, beaten up Hall of Famer with Fergie Jenkins. Sure went out to go to my beaten up Frankenset cards. Kenny Anderson here looks like he had a rough day and the line was not blocking well. Kenny Anderson probably deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. What do you think? This is, I'm going to call this one the lightning bolt variation. Lightning bolt crashing through the sky of a couple of Hall of Famers there of Johnny Bench and Dick Allen, 1973 tops. All right. Love my Kellogg's cards, even if they are beaten up. Ron Say, the Penguin. Now I'll go with some nicer vintage. 72, not great, but decent shape. Jerry Johnson there. I just love 72 cards. That one looks good. This one looks pretty good. I've got so many of this John Donaldson now. It's become a running joke for me. If I see it, I have to buy it for a dime. And when it comes to the Topps All-Star Rookie cards, when we're in the 70s, I just can't pass them up for a dime. Larry Heisel out of Portsmouth, Ohio, was a superstar in high school. That's in southeast Ohio, near the West Virginia, Kentucky-ish border. Gary Templeton, this one's actually in really nice shape. So that's actually a really good pickup for a dime. I'm going to check and see if that one's better than one I currently have. Maybe I need the Phil Roof for my team set, my A's team set. I don't think I do, but still kind of cool. How about a Yogi Berra for a dime? Very, very cool. Yogi Berra for a dime, and Eddie Yost down there too. Roy McMillan, wasn't he a red, I think, at one point? Anyway, 74 Tops love to put their pictures in a landscape format, not the portrait. So John Matlock, not to be confused with Tom Seaver. The cards look very similar. Really nice shape that will make good trade bait. So, I recently did a video on 84 of the Topps Nestle cards and how you never find them in dime boxes. So I bought a bunch of them off of eBay. And I explained to you the 1984 Nestle's all came in giant sheets. You had to cut them out by hand. So they're kind of hard to find in nice shape. You never find them in dime boxes. Guys, I think I spoke it into existence. These are all Nestle's with Jesse Roscoe. You got Louisiana Lightning, Ron Guidry there. Got some Whitey Ball with Whitey Herzog. So all these different Nestle cards from 1984, very cool. Once again, there are half as many of these produced as there were the Topps Tiffany set. And then you got to cut them out by hand. So they're actually like 1/3 those available in decent shape as there are the Topps Tiffany cards. So really kind of cool to find these. Really kind of unbelievable. Really very pleased to find these. And these were like actually out of the box that ended up being like 6 or 7 cents a piece. There's a Dan Quisenberry. So really kind of cool to find some Nestle's there. Joe Morgan, Hall of Famer. Don Sutton, Hall of Famer there. Burt Blyleven, Hall of Famer. Burt Blyleven, by the way, 2 All-Star games. I think he's either the least or tied for the least amount of All-Star games by a guy in the Hall of Fame during the All-Star game period. Since the All-Star game started in the 1933, I think it was their first All-Star game, somewhere around there. So super cool to come across those. A whole bunch of those, really freaking awesome. Yeah. Now we're going to get into some really cool stuff. Here we go. First of all, 3 box bottoms of the Louisiana Lightning. Once again, Gator, Ron Guidry. Very cool. You know, I just can't turn down box bottoms, especially when we start getting the like 86 and younger. This is super cool. And this was in a dime box. Once again, it was actually like 6 or 7 cents a piece. This is the Topps Transfer, 1984. I think they're called Transfer. They're like tattoos, but Topps Transfer, 1984. And check it, man. Ozzie Smith and Tommy John there. And then Eddie Murray and Terry Kennedy. So 2 Hall of Famers. And do you know what's really cool about having Ozzie Smith and Eddie Murray on the same card here together? Do you know what's really cool about that? Do you know your history? Here's what is really cool about that. They are the only that I know of pair of high school teammates to make the Hall of Fame. There are other guys who played at the same high school and made the Hall of Fame. A good example is Moeller in Cincinnati, Barry Larkin and Ken Griffey Jr., but they did not play together. Griffey came a year or 2 after Larkin. These only 2 guys ever played as teammates. They were in Los Angeles together, Eddie Murray and Ozzie Smith. So there you go. That's super cool. These are not very common to find in dime boxes. All right. How about foodstuffs? Oh, you know my foodstuffs. You never, ever find, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say never, but you rarely find Wonder Bread cards, 1990, I think they're 1990, in good shape because they were actually packaged in the bag of bread. So, of course, they got beaten up. These ones are both great for dimes. Amazing finds. Super stoked working on that set. How about some craft singles? Bobby Bowe, Doug Draback, different craft singles year. The Big Cat, Anders Galarraga. So Drake's Big Hitters. This one was 1983 at Dave Winfield. Very cool and nice shape. We've got a Denny's Grand Slam there of Danny Tartable. The only baseball player to appear on 2 episodes of Seinfeld, by the way, if you want to win a bar bet. Joe Oliver, Diet Pepsi. With the Reds, I came in like cases of Pepsi. Very cool, working on that set. And some 1983, once again, Drake's, Dave Kingman, Bill Madlock. Captain Crunch, Eddie Murray. Captain Crunch are not rare, but clearly not rare. But you don't find a lot of them like Post because Post came in multiple different cereals, so you find a lot of Post. The Captain Crunch came obviously only in Captain Crunch. Harder set to complete. I think I'm just about done with it. I think I need maybe one more. Have to double check that, but still very cool. Lefty Gomez. I'm working on this one. This is the Homer's Cookies. Homer's Classic Collections. I believe they're cookies. There's the checklist. I've got a bunch. I need a couple more. I don't know if I need the Lefty Gomez or not, but you don't find a lot of those in dime boxes, so very happy with that. This freaking concept, dude. I'm working on like set number 4 of this. I'm addicted to this set. I am totally addicted to this set. I can't stop buying these whenever I see them in dime boxes. I have 3 complete sets of this. Guess I'm working on number 4. All right. Random hodgepodge here. Barry Bonds, but it's a member's choice, which are always kind of neat. George Brett, the Top Sam Club, 3,000 hits. I have this. There's like 4 cards in this little subset thing here. And I have them all, but I like this card, so I keep buying it. There's a Revco. Mike Scioscia was mixed in with the other 1984 Nestle, so I grabbed a handful, thought it was a Nestle. It's just the Tops. But Mike Scioscia gives me a chance to talk about how awesome he was in the greatest Simpsons episode of all time, or at least top 3, Homer at the Bat, where they had the company softball. I won't go into details. If you know, you know. All right. Never seen these before, and then found a couple of these. These are like dual ones here. So this has Omar Vizquel and Jim Thome, and this one has Jason Giambi and Todd Houghton. Like you fold them out, and it's like 2 different people. That's why the lower halves look funky on it. Jim Thome and the bazooka kind of looking thing there. All right. Ozzie Smith, 85 Tops. How about a Danny Ainge? Kind of a little bit beaten up just a touch, but still really cool. 2-sport athlete. And this is third year card, but like a second card, because he didn't have a rookie card, which is weird. I mean, he has a rookie card, but he didn't have a rookie card after his first year. Bob Cerv. This is from my guy BK, Bob Cerv out of Nebraska. Tim McCarver and Chuck Tanner in the TCNA. All right. Here we go. World Series Heroes. Nolan Ryan from my Nolan Ryan collection. Mickey Tettleton Sports Flick. Here we go. Nolan Ryan. Jeez. Another old guy who played forever. Cal Ripken with Ozzie Smith on the back. Ooh, there we go. Electric Diamond. Always like a good parallel of Larry Walker. Reggie Sanders. Now, I got my guy, Robert Springs. Robert comments all the time. And on my videos, Robert, much love to you. He said, Reggie Sanders, I went to high school with Reggie Sanders. So anytime I see Reggie Sanders, Robert, I'm gonna pick one up just so I can give you a shout out. Plus, honestly, mad respect for Reggie Sanders, who played on like so many different teams and made the playoffs. It's something crazy. He had like 5 or 6 consecutive years of making the playoffs with 5 or 6 different teams. Seriously, look up his stats. It's crazy. Also 300 home runs and I think 300 stolen bases. Can't pass up the famous chicken. Another sports flick there of Ted Simmons, a Hall of Famer. All right, a couple Satchel Pages. And then some good Eddie Murray love. That one's a members only. Here we go, Diamond King. He's actually smiling. You don't get a lot of baseball cards of Eddie Murray smiling. Trust me, he always looks angry. Will Clark, and just one random Robert Acuna Jr. All right. These are these throwbacks. I love these. I had the complete set of this, except for one card, which is short printed. I went through all freaking like 400 cards there of these. I went through them all looking for the short print, didn't have it. So I'm one card short of this set because of the dang short print that you cannot find the short print. It's not on eBay. It's not on comc.com. And it's not on, it was on Bob's Earth. And it's not on TCDB. There's like 33 people wanting for TCDB with 0 available. All right. This is one of my most favorite stacks here. I love this stack, and I'm going to show you something. This is starting lineup talking baseball. These cards kind of get expensive. They only did it 1 year. It was a game. I said 1983. This is 1989, 1990 came out. Is there copyright on this somewhere? I don't remember. So anyway, this was a game, and I want to show you this game because I have this game. And by have it, I mean still have it. Ta-da! This is what it is. This is what these cards go with. So this was like Christmas 1999. So one thing I asked for, starting lineup talking baseball. I need to get some batteries. I need to see if it still plays. I don't know if it does because it's really old and you can see it's dirty. So it's super cool. It's like a 2-player game. We can do it 1 person. So you put the cartridge in and then you pick your teams based on these teams. There's a Hall of Fame one. This one's got these. I had not all the teams, but a bunch of them because sadly, almost as soon as the game came out, it went clearance because it wasn't selling enough. So we went, and my parents and I, we bought every single cartridge we could find at Toys R Us before the game went away. So here's how it worked. Someone picked what kind of pitch they were going to, and you could do all different things infield in. You could do pitch outs in this, pickoffs. So you would do like, you pick like a curveball. You did a curveball. And the batter over here, little lights would flash and the curveball would move kind of across in different ways. And the batter here would have to hit what button I thought it was going to end on and see what kind of contact it would make. You could steal bases, you could hit and run, you do all sorts of cool stuff with this. It was super cool. I had so many different sets. And in fact, for proof, here are all the cards that came with it. I still have them all, man. All these different cards. These are the light fixtures that go on the game there. So like this is what the cards look like. Oop. I still have them in the team order. So here you go. So this is Dale Maharic. I couldn't pick a guy, name I could pronounce. 1987 there. So I think it was 1988. So that's what the cards look like. So that's a Texas Rangers. So I've got all of them. The Oakland A's are actually in a binder. I have that team in a binder. So all the different teams here. And it came with a card to show you the starting lineup of everybody. There's Cleveland starting lineup on order that they should be in. So there you go. And then it gives the substitutes on the back. Super cool. Loved it. I love games. I love games. Partly because games talk a lot about who we are as a society and how we play. I'll get into that more later. Don't waste your time. I'm already taking way too long with this video. Sorry. I apologize for being a little bit slow. No one's ever accused me of being slow, by the way. But here we go. I just really got some fun stuff. This also from a game. You don't come across these in a dime box. These are awesome. So there's Bill Madlock, Carlton Fisk, and Ron Guidry. It's Champions of Baseball 1984. So top. So here's kind of how it worked. By Milton Bradley. So it's a Milton Bradley game. So here's how it worked. You rolled the dice. It's a lot like APBA or Stratomatic, which I talked about. Once again, if you played APBA or Stratomatic, please comment and tell me which one you played. Freaking APBA player for 30 years of my life. I'm actually setting up an APBA day for my friends and I to play the 1994 season to finish it off because there was no World Series. That's how cool I am. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but for baseball. Much cooler than that. We're going to get some pizza. Have some fun. Anyway, so we'd roll the dice, and then the outcome would dictate what happened. So if you rolled a pair of 6s, it was a home run for Carlton Fisk. If you rolled a pair of 3s, it was an out, a fly out left field. If you rolled a 2 and a 4, it was a fly to right field or a single, depending on who was pitching, I guess. So Bill Madlock, same way. So Really kind of cool. There's 30 cards in this set. You just do not come across them very often. Not an expensive set, but moderately expensive on eBay. I want to pull the trigger to buy it for like 30 bucks with shipping. I haven't done it yet. I need to do it because I'm obsessed with games. Okay. I don't know why I bought this for a dime. Just because it's weird and kind of cool. Check it out. It's a schedule card from 2002, the Durham Bulls, man. Freaking Bull Durham. How awesome is that? If anybody can tell me who the player on the cover of this is, I haven't looked it up. I have a buddy who works for the Durham Bulls. I should reach out to him and see. Anyway, would love to know who that is. Probably, obviously, some Hall of Famer. I'm just not recognizing the picture. Jimmy Fox? I don't know. Okay. This is kind of nifty. There are a bunch of these. Really thick. It's just like a card that came in the packs to encourage you to buy stuff, but it said Williams, so I thought it was cool. DAV cards. I come across these rarely, but really cool. Scott Rowland, a Hall of Famer. This is the Disabled American Veterans, and it was actually in Cold Spring, Kentucky, which is out of Cincinnati. Their national headquarters are literally like an hour from me, 45 minutes from me, like 15 minutes from my girlfriend. So they put out sets of cards, very cool. Baseball Mortals, I've shown these before. These are really cool, like those. This one's not a Baseball Mortals, actually. It's made by the same company, but kind of different. So this is just from some other set. I can't remember what this exactly is from. Anyways, Baseball Mortals. These are the all-time greats. These are kind of neat. You collected these in your packs of Topps cards in 1985 Topps, I believe, 84, 85. And then you count them up and you had to get 50 total runs. So I thought those would be kind of neat. Maybe somebody needs those for their complete sets. Joe DiMaggio, I believe Joe DiMaggio is actually from one of those high schools that had a second Hall of Famer, and now I'm blanking on who it was. Joe DiMaggio out of San Francisco, of course, as we all know. All-time Yankees cards, very cool. This, by the way, it's just a sticker, Fleer, Darryl Strawberry, no big deal, right? Except for, check it out. It's a 1984 Fleer, so it's a rookie year sticker. It's not a rookie, they don't call them rookies, but it's a rookie year sticker of Fleer. Very cool, super excited about that. That's just a good looking couple Darryl Strawberry cards. I did pick up Roberto Kelly minor league card. The only annoying thing with these are bigger than the average card, so it makes them pain in the butt to store, but super cool. Roberto Kelly had a nice career. All right, here we go. Prime time in his dual jersey Braves busting out there. So very cool. I dig that. This is really cool. I love art cards. You know I love my art cards. So to get an artist card, it's really cool. Check it out. From my previous videos, I still have it sitting here. Here's Dick Perez. So there's some art. And then, hey, still sitting here. I didn't even notice I had these on accident. Here is a good example of an art card. This was done by a guy. Is it Wayne Stills? Do I know my artist is Wayne Stills? It is Wayne Still. Ha-ha! Illustration by Wayne Still. Man. Like, my girlfriend can tell you all these different artists. You know, she'll go through Rembrandt, Monet, Manet, like all these different people. She'll talk about pointillism, and I'm like, do you know who Wayne Still is? Do you know who Dick Perez is? She's still smarter than me, but I happen to know baseball card art. Anyway, makes me feel good. My girlfriend's super smart, by the way, so that does mean something to know something that she doesn't. Here we go. This is really awesome. Gold card here of the two expansion teams, the Diamondbacks and the Devil Rays from 1998. So very cool. Is it 98? 96 actually. So 1998, but from before that. Special offer cards, kind of neat of George Brett. They're just like some mail-away thing, but thought they were neat. And then Garbage Pail Kid, original from 1986, really nice shape. People collect those, so grab that. And this one, I didn't even know what this was. I just thought it was kind of neat. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I looked it up. Turns out it is out of Wonder Bread. This is a 1978, it says 77. It's 1978 Wonder Bread, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. They were literally packaged in bread with their products of it. So really cool. And I thought, oh man, didn't even know it until I got it home. Like, this is obviously going to be worth something because, you know, they were going to be damaged and you couldn't get them in nice shape. It's not worth much at all.